So hello everybody and welcome back to A Royal Reader. My name is Cersei and today I'm going to be talking about all of the Greek myth retellings that I have on my TBR. So on this TBR I have just 6 books that I want to talk about. If you can hear children screaming in the background, I do apologize. So these are all Greek myth retellings, like I said. Let's start off with the most obvious first one, and that's going to be Circe by Madeline Miller. I have not read this yet. I am super excited to read this because I absolutely adored Song of Achilles. That book destroyed me in my soul, and I am excited to have it happen to me again. So I do just want to read the synopsis quickly because I actually don't know too much about it. I just know that it's just about Circe. That's pretty much all I know. So it says here, in the house of Helios, god of the sun and the mightiest of the Titans, a daughter is born. But Circe is a strange child, not powerful like her father, nor viciously alluring like her mother. Turning to the world of mortals for companionship, she discovers that she does possess power, the power of witchcraft, which can transform rivals into monsters and menace the gods themselves. Threatened, Zeus banishes her to a deserted island, where she hones her occult craft, tames wild beasts, and cross paths with many of the famous figures in all of mythology, including the Minotaur, Daedalus and his doomed son Icarus, the murderous Medea, and of course, wily Odysseus. But there is danger too, for a woman who stands alone, and Circe unwittingly draws the wrath of both men and gods, ultimately finding herself pitted against one of the most terrifying and vengeful of the Olympians. To protect what she loves most, Circe must summon all her strength and choose once and for all whether she belongs with the gods she is born from or the mortals she has come to love. So that just sounds fan-frickin-tastic if I do say so myself. So I'm really, really excited to start that. I just cannot wait. I want to read that so bad. I can't believe it's taken me so long to want to pick it up. I don't know why it's taken me so long, but it has. So next book I have on the list is called Ariadne, I think it's how you pronounce the name. I'm not entirely too sure. And it's by Jennifer Saint. So this one says it's perfect for the fans of A Song of Achilles and The Silence of the Girls, which is another book that I have on this list. So it says, as princesses of Crete and daughters of the fearsome king Minos, Ariadne and her sisters Phaedra, I don't know, grow up hearing the hoofbeats and the bellows of the Minotaur echo from the labyrinth beneath the palace. The Minotaur, Minos' greatest shame and Ariadne's brother, I didn't know that, demands blood every year. When Theseus, prince of Athens, arrives in Crete, as a sacrifice to the beast, Ariadne falls in love with him, but helping Theseus kill the monster means betraying her family and country, and Ariadne knows only too well that in a world ruled by mercurial gods, drawing their attention can cost you everything. In a world where women are nothing more than pawns to powerful men, will Ariadne's decision to betray Crete for Theseus ensure her happy ending? Or will she find herself sacrificed for her lover's ambition? Ariadne gives voice to a forgotten woman of one of the most famous Greek myths and speaks to strength in the face of angry, petulant gods. How exciting and incredible does that sound? Just gonna say that right now. So next we have Silence of the Girls by Pat Baker. This one I have heard a bit about, but I'm not entirely too sure what it is about. So it says, I'm just reading these synopsises to you, but basically these are all just books that I really want to read at some point in time because I am obsessed with Greek mythology. So it says, the ancient city of Troy has withstood a decade under siege of the powerful Greek army, which continues to wage bloody war over a stolen woman, Helen. In the Greek camp, another woman, Briasis, watches and waits for the war's outcome. She was queen of one of Troy's neighboring kingdoms until Achilles, Greece's greatest warrior, sacked her city and murdered her husband and brothers. Briasis becomes Achilles' concubine, a prize of battle, and must adjust quickly in order to survive a radically different life as one of the many conquered women who serve the Greek army. When Agamemnon, the brutal political leader of the Greek forces, demands Briasis to himself, she finds herself caught between the two most powerful of the Greeks. Achilles refuses to fight in protest, and the Greeks begin to lose ground to their Trojan opponents. Keenly observant and coolly unflinching about the daily horrors of war, Briasis finds herself in an unprecedented position to observe the two men driving the Greek army and what will become their final confrontation, deciding the fate of not only Briasis' people, but also of the ancient world at large. Briasis is just one among thousands of women living behind the scenes in this war. The slaves, the prostitutes, the nurses, and the women who lay out the dead. All of them are erased by history. With breathtakingly historical details and luminous prose, Pat Barker brings the teeming world of the Greek camp to vivid life. She offers nuanced, complex portrayals of characters and stories familiar from mythology, which, seen from Briasis' perspective, are rife with newfound revelations. That sounds like it's going to be a heavy read. I am excited to get to that. Plus, the cover of that one is just stunning. It looks incredible. Actually, all of these covers are just stunning. So, the next book we have is called 1,000 Ships by Natalie Haynes, and I'm really excited to read this one. It says that it is perfect for fans of Madeline Miller. So it says... Oh, okay, okay, alright. So it says, they have waited long enough for their return. This was never the story of one woman or two. This was the story of all of them. In the middle of the night, a woman wakes to find her beloved city engulfed in flames. 10 seemingly endless years of conflict between the Greeks and the Trojans are over. Troy has fallen. From the Trojan women whose fates now lie in the hands of the Greeks, to the Amazonian princess who fought Achilles on their behalf, to Penelope awaiting the return of Odysseus, to the three goddesses whose feud started it all. These are all the stories of the women whose lives, loves, and rivalries were forever altered by this long and tragic war. A woman's epic, powerfully imbued with new life. 1,000 Ships puts the women, girls, and goddesses at the center of the Western world's greatest tale ever told. So that sounds like it's going to be sort of the Iliad / the Odyssey from the women's perspective. So like Helen and Penelope. Oh, I cannot wait. Because I have read bits and pieces of the Iliad. Was it the Iliad? No, the Odyssey. For a subject at university. I am excited to get to this, especially because we also just started reading the Penelopiad by Margaret Atwood. Makes me really, really excited. So next we have one also by Natalie Haynes, and this one's called Pandoras Jar, Women in the Greek Myths. So it says, the Greek myths are one of the most important cultural foundation stones of the modern world. Stories of gods and monsters are the mainstay of epic poetry and Greek tragedy, from Homer to Virgil to blah 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 and Euripides. Such weird names. And still today, a wealth of novels, plays, and films draw their inspiration from these stories, first told by almost 3,000 years ago. But modern tellers of Greek myth have usually been men and have routinely shown interest in telling women's stories. Now, Pandora's Jar redresses this imbalance, taking Greek creation myths as her starting point and then retelling the four great mythic sagas: the Trojan War, the Royal House of Thebes, Jason and the Argonauts, Hercules. She puts the female characters on equal footing with their menfolk. The result is a vivid and powerful account of the deeds and misdeeds of Hera, Aphrodite, Athena, and Circe. And away from the goddesses of Mount Olympus is Helen, Clemenstera, Jocasta, Antigone and Medea, who sing from these pages, not Paris, Agamemnon, Orestes, or Jason. We love a feminist kick with these Greek stories. So one thing I do have to say is that Greek myths don't really include a lot of the women unless they are being portrayed in a villainous way, so that makes me super excited. And the last one I have on this list is one that I've spoken about before because it is one of my most anticipated releases for the year, and that's going to be Daughter of Sparta by Claire M. Andrews. So this is a sort of retelling of the Apollo and the Minotaur? No, Apollo and Daphne myth. So this one apparently is that Daphne is a really strong warrior and Artemis has taken her brother. In order for Daphne to get her brother back, she has to go on this quest to find these 9 missing items from Mount Olympus. And on the way, Artemis's twin Apollo helps her, and she has to go on a really crazy journey from the labyrinth of the Minotaur to the riddle spinning Sphinx of Thebes, and just all these crazy people like Theseus and Hippolyta and just all crazy people. So that sounds really exciting too, and I can't wait to read that when it comes out. So yeah, are all the books that I have on this TBR. Let me know if you guys are excited for these as well, and let me know if you guys are interested in reading any of these like Greek myth retellings. I would love to do more videos on these, and if you have any suggestions for Greek myth retellings, please do leave them down below in the comments. I would love to check this out. So give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe. Check out my Twitter and Instagram links. They are always down below in the description box. And yeah, I will see you guys in another video later on.